Hey, what's up, everybody? Jeremiah Krakowski here. Do you ever feel like there's not enough time in the day still, even though all of us are at home doing things to accomplish your goals? Can I get an I and an amen from that? I bet all of us have experienced that and felt like there's just not enough time still in the day to accomplish my goals. And then we spin around like a chicken with our head cut off, wondering, what should I do next? What choices are the wise choices? There's energy that is output by our focus being on what we lack, time, rather than focused on what we have, gratitude for what we are accomplishing. And maybe you're like, well, what I did accomplish was so small, it's not worth it for me to have gratitude and joy for. The truth is, even the small things, you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate the small progresses. You will not accomplish the big things if you never learn to celebrate the little things. This isn't a participation trophy mindset either. This is saying, I am so grateful and thankful for the breath in my lungs and the time that I have to do what I can every single day, that I'm going to make the best of it. And if I don't, it's okay. If I don't do everything on my list, it's okay. If I have to put some stuff off to tomorrow, it's okay. And this is the hardest thing. What is the risk? What is the worry of saying it's okay to not accomplish everything perfectly? What are we afraid of happening if we say, I'm okay with not doing everything perfect today, not accomplishing everything on my list, putting things to tomorrow, and then hitting it the next day? You see, the thing is the truth of this. Yeah, tomorrow is the enemy of today. Tomorrow and doing what we can tomorrow, what we can do today, tomorrow will always keep us looking to tomorrow to do things. And so this mindset spins us in a loop that we're never good enough, that we can't celebrate what we got done today. And so I see two sides of this. Either you could be so lazy, never do anything, always put off till tomorrow things that you could do today, or beating yourself up. This is more probably the common one with my followers that I have. Beating yourself up for not doing everything perfect, for not accomplishing everything today and having to put things off till tomorrow. Because our pride and our ego is more important than actually accomplishing that, and we're focused on what we lack. Time. We're focused on the wrong thing. Instead of empowering what we have, what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for that we have, time. We have time tomorrow to do something. And you know what? I'm going to do it. And then when tomorrow comes, make sure you get it done. Don't push it off. That's the secret to this. If you have to put something off to tomorrow, don't keep pushing it off to the next tomorrow and the next tomorrow and the next tomorrow. Actively, intentionally do things. But don't allow the fact that you didn't get it done also spin you in a loop of negativity, self-defeat, self-doubt, and criticism. And judgment against yourself, that you're less than or not worthy of your goals because you didn't accomplish what you set out to do that day. You're not ever going to do everything that you want to do. And if you're struggling on this hamster wheel of feeling like you're running out of time, often it's because we have unrealistic expectations of what we can accomplish every single day. Yeah, in the future, you might be able to accomplish more than you can today in a single day, but your track record in your life is showing that, you know what, maybe I'm biting off a little more than I can chew. Let me break this down to smaller bite-sized chunks. Let me break this down to the little tiny pieces that I can accomplish today, that I can celebrate, and that I can build a plan to successfully create all-out massive action by saying step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we're beating ourselves up over not doing everything on our list perfectly today, you're going to beat yourself up every single step of the way. It's not helping you. It's not helping anybody. Oftentimes that comes in too because we're negatively critical of ourselves the way that maybe we're critical of other people, or we're wishing somebody was critical of us that way. For me, I was reiterating and recreating experiences that I had growing up of not doing anything until somebody was critical of me. And so I was so critical of myself anytime I did even the smallest thing not perfect. And I had to actually let that go. I had to say, you know what? It's okay if it's not perfect today. There's tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to set a plan to execute. This is not to give an allowance for a lack of execution, by the way. This is not an allowance for no ownership. This is not an allowance to never do anything. This is saying I'm okay with small progress. I'm okay with bite-sized building, compounding over time. I'm not okay with treating myself with negative criticism, not being loving to myself, and trying to force myself to do things that really aren't realistic. Trying to say that I'm less than and unworthy of my goals if I don't do them perfectly how I think in this exact moment in time they should be done. And if I don't do it that way, well, then I'm less than worthy of love, connection, finances, influence, or my goals. The only way that you're going to accomplish anything with the time that you've been given is to really look at, honestly, and it's going to hurt sometimes, admit to yourself, you know what, I can't get all of that done today, and that's okay. This is what I can get done and will get done today. And start to create a plan of execution for every single day that gives yourself grace to not be perfect, that gives yourself allowance to do things tomorrow, that gives yourself clarity of mind so you're not so focused on doing everything perfect and we're more present in the present moment of accomplishing things. Stop holding things against yourself, your track record. Stop holding the mistakes you made in your past against yourself and saying, well, because I did that in the past, I'm going to punish myself today until I do the right thing. Give up that punishment of yourself and start putting one foot in front of the other to start creating the life that you know is possible for yourself and start accomplishing those goals. Bite-sized pieces, little chunks at a time, one day at a time, compounding over time to create all-out massive action. And if you're wondering, that's hard for me to do. If you're somebody that's listening to this, you're like, I can't. If I don't do everything perfectly, I cannot allow that to happen. You have a high level of integrity and excellence. I get it. But that has become a downfall to you because maybe you're so prideful about how perfect you do everything that you're actually not doing as much as you could be if you stopped being so focused on perfection and just started focusing on progress, celebrating progress, getting 1% better every single day to compound and build your goals and making the best of the time that you've been given, not beating yourself up, not ruminating on what you didn't do right, not looking at your past mistakes and holding them against yourself, forgiving yourself for your mistakes, making a plan of execution, putting one foot in front of the other, keeping focused on the future to keep moving forward. And that, my friends, is how you're going to make the best of the time that we've been given. We've all been given the same 24 hours in a day. And we know it's what you do with it that creates the results that you get. If you're spending that 24 hours in the day beating yourself up over what you didn't do, that energy could have been spent doing things. Seriously. It's self-defeating. So let's learn. Let's look at maybe why is that so hard to break? And start to make a plan to execute. Give ourselves grace this week to do our best and let the rest take care of itself. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.